Hello, everyone. Welcome to Girls Unscripted. My name is Carolyn.
My name is Kate, and on today's episode of our weekly reality gab, we celebrate because we hit 1,000 YouTube subscribers. Ding, 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 ding. We're talking about Jax Taylor being back on TV, the Valley's Hawaii trip, Kristen engaged, a Vanderpump Rules spinoff, Lala Kent giving birth, and we're still a little confused on the name. And then we talk a lot about Hulu's new show, Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, and we go on a bit of a tangent about soaking. So if you're interested on learning more about that, keep listening because we're going to talk about it right now. Hello. Wait, do you know what I'm saying? Have you ever heard people do that where they're like, hello, hello, hello?
Yeah, okay.
Hello.
We'll try again.
Okay. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. You've never done this before. You've never done this before.
I'm not a singer.
Why would you lie to me?
Well, I haven't done it myself, but I feel like I have the capacity.
No. I fucked it up.
We all.
Hello. And welcome back to another exhilarating episode of Girls Unscripted. My name is Kate.
My name is Carolyn.
And we have a lot to talk about today. But before we start, we hit 100,000 followers on YouTube.
That's not true.
I mean,
that would be sick, and I can't wait for when that happens.
I was manifesting.
That is a falsehood from your mouth.
What I meant to say was we hit 1,000 followers. And Carolyn said all she wanted for her birthday was 1,000 YouTube subscribers. So I bought you.
No way. No, I've always wanted the stupid balloons. Yay!
Oh,
Thank you, Mom.
And since this is your birthday episode, I also bought you a birthday ribbon.
That's so nice.
But you don't have to poke it in your shirt if you don't want to put a hole in your shirt.
This is like a very cheap ass shirt. Hold on. Let me get this sucker right on in here. Oh, that's so nice. Thank you.
You deserve it because by the time this episode comes out, it'll be maybe on your birthday.
Can we be so lucky?
Oh, that looks cute.
1K.
So we've hit our 1K. I'm actually here.
1K balloons. 1,000.
But no, here. I'll prop them up while you say thank you to all your friends.
Thank you.
Since you threatened them last episode.
I threatened everyone here. And look, I was because I thought I knew the potential we had in this situation. And I like to see everyone's potential come to fruition. And you really came through. You came and subscribed. We got to 1,000. And now for my next birthday, we will be asking for 100,000. So I will give you a bye week this week, but I will start a
bye year.
Again.
It's really a bye year.
It's really a bye year.
You guys have 1 year. But it's just pretty amazing. It's really
it's fun to go in there.
It means more than you guys can know.
No, it really does.
It's crazy that people listen to us.
It really does.
Okay, so let's get into our little gabbing. I was in Cabo. And actually, right before this episode started, I got a text from my friend. We went to this bar called Squid Row. Did you go out to the bars when you were in Cabo?
We went to the casino.
Honestly, probably the better choice. A Mexican casino.
We have a problem.
Was there a different, was it did it look like a normal casino? Did they have different games?
It was normal, but it's in pesos. The odds were actually a lot better. The payouts were better.
I feel like I would gamble. I would feel like I was gambling so much money, and then I'd only end up spending $20.
Yeah, it was a real up and down roller coaster. We won a lot, lost it, won it back. It was.
What do you guys play?
Blackjack.
Oh, that's a toughie. That's too fast for me.
Yeah, I know. Okay, you were in Cabo.
Well, also,
Squid Row.
I don't know if you agree, but I feel like Cabo was not cheap either. It was like LA prices. I paid $18 for a drink.
We went to an all-inclusive.
Well, I did too, but we obviously went out to the mall.
Oh, well, you went out. Yeah.
So we went to Squid Row, which is, I think, the row of bars, but there's also a bar called Squid Row, and they go there on the first season of Laguna Beach, and Kristen and Steven get in a big fight at the bar.
That's a significant scene.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so you know it. Yeah,
yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, oh, I'm definitely going to go there if that's where they went. People are just forcing shit down your throat. They're trying to sell you stuff left and right. And this lady just comes up with a bunch.
Including cocaine, by the way.
Yeah, well, that's a different
We were
story.
offered so much on the street. Anyways, continue.
Well, some people in my group took it, and then we had literal drug lords like after us. It was.
You did not.
No, actually, I did.
I can't tell if you're kidding or not.
No, I'm actually not kidding. No, I'm actually not kidding.
What do you do in your free time? I can't.
It wasn't me.
I can't control.
I famously have said on this podcast have never done drugs. So, anyways, this lady just comes up to us. She's got these big old boobs and
big old titties.
She's beautiful, but she like shoved Jello shots down our throat and then like pinched our nipples and like put our heads in her chest and made us motorboat, and it was awesome. But we were like, oh, she just like came up and gave us these like Jello shots, and then out of nowhere she like pulls out her receipt, $94.
No,
94 American.
Oh, that's
dollars.
Heartbreaking.
So my friend just texted me and he goes, "Did you check your bank statement from the shots?"
Have you?
Squid Realm? I haven't, and he said my bank statement is not matching the receipt that I was given for the drinks I bought.
No way.
So I'm gonna have to deal with that after this episode.
Oh,
but yeah, the whole drug lord thing, I won't really
shit.
get too into it, but basically the second we got out of our shuttle, like to the row of bars, it was one of those like, oh, hey man, like just give it to
fast,
one of our guys. And the guy was like, I don't want it. They would not take it back. And then we're waiting for us outside of like each bar, like pestering us for the money. And then he like gave the baggie back and was like, I don't want it, and like threw it at him. And then they pick it up and they're like, you opened it. You opened it. You owe us money. Like, so it got to the point where my friend that they were pestering at the final bar, I felt like we were like hiding Lindsay Lohan from the paparazzi. We like put him in like a hat and sunglasses, and like he walked out with his head down, and we all like gathered around him, and we just like beelined it right to the Uber. And we got away with it.
Dude,
I mean, he
don't
didn't keep
fuck around with those.
keep the drugs, but like it just was pretty scary.
Kyle, when we were in Cabo, wanted to go surfing by himself, and then we just had those two surfers.
Yep, I heard about that.
Just get their heads blown off in south of Tijuana, and I was like, no, you're not going by yourself to a remote location where no one is around you and you don't know anyone there. But I actually did let him do exactly that because I gave it, and he was okay. But I was scared. Like, you have to just be careful, watch out.
With ours, it's like we got out of our hotel shuttle, and the driver got out and like opened the door for us, and obviously he was wearing a name tag. Well, then the random Coke guy comes up and tries to give our friend the Coke, and our friend's like, no. And the guy goes, no, I'm your bartender from the Rio Palace Hotel.
What?
And then our friend was like, oh, okay. But in my mind, I'm like, obviously he just saw the name tag of the blatant hotel shuttle that just dropped us off.
The amount of deceit in this world is
everybody's a liar.
Everyone's a fucking liar.
And then this triggered, we were talking about everyone being a liar, triggered Carolyn bringing up something that wasn't even on our list. And we don't have to talk about it long, but just because it segues right into it. You were saying everyone's a liar, including Nikocado Avocado. Explain who he is.
I didn't know who he was until his big reveal.
Oh, you'd never seen his videos before?
I guess maybe I had, but he was known for being a very large man who would do mukbangs and eat a lot and get a lot of views for that. And then all of a sudden he shows up completely skinny. Like, I didn't even know it was the same person side by side. It's even like dubious to me. But he like creepily says that he's always 2 steps ahead, and he's been working out for 2 years / Ozempic or whatever, and had just been playing videos that he had
like
piled
he had like
up.
a backlog of
videos for 2 years, and then shows up skinny and is like, I'm always 2 steps ahead, and then does a
but
weird
it's just creepy. It's
shuffle.
like, why do you gotta like be like that? Just like tell us, hey guys, I've been working out. So people are saying, it's like, well, that's what I wanted to ask you. There's a lot of conspiracy theories around this thing. People think that
it was creepy,
that either he did what you just said, or if the skinny video was taken years ago and just posted now. I don't think that's it.
Well, okay, so the fact that he says I'm always 2 steps ahead and then does The best part about it is this weird
I didn't
thing
even
that he
catch
does.
that.
Have you seen
I
it?
watched it, but I don't think I watched the whole video because it was scary.
It's really just creepy to watch. But then he's doing this very weird backwards march type step thing.
Yeah. I know what you're
Yeah,
saying.
but it makes me think, okay, he's always 2 steps ahead. Him saying he's always 2 steps ahead is probably 2 steps ahead of something else. So that I wouldn't be surprised if something like that is true.
It also makes me wonder if there's more.
That's what I'm
come.
saying.
Yeah,
Like, he's
okay.
already 2 steps ahead of something else.
Right. When you're
probably.
telling us you're 2 steps ahead, that doesn't mean you're there. That means
Right.
you're continuing to walk those 2 steps.
Yeah, exactly. I also don't know. I see all these posts about it being like this amazing social experiment. I guess.
It like is, but it isn't a social experiment. He literally tried a backlog of videos. What's the experiment? What's the conclusion? What was the hypothesis he was testing?
I guess he was like, you all were fat shaming me for 2 years. Ha ha.
But it's like, okay, it's like, here's the experiment. Can I get these people to believe that I am currently posting these videos? It's like, well, yes, because you are posting these videos.
And it was you. It's not like it wasn't
Yeah.
you. You did do that, even if it was 2 years ago. The way he says it makes it seem like it's a scary
Yeah. Like,
situation.
it sounds
2
like
steps
it
ahead.
sounds like a threat.
Yeah, it sounds like a threat.
Yeah.
Like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Avocado.
What does it mean, Mr. Avocado?
I don't know.
And then I went right into that. But do you have any fun news to tell us? Did you do anything fun this weekend, last week?
I'm pregnant.
Stop.
I'm not. I'm sorry. I just feel like I come.
No, but the thing
I
is
always-
if you were, you probably would tell me on this podcast.
I always come
Holy
with like,
shit. And the first thing I thought was, are we drinking alcohol today? And we weren't.
I'm so sorry. And that's not to like make light of telling someone that. But
No, no, you got my ass.
I always come with zero.
Did you think I'll fall
interesting
for it that
information.
much?
Your
You,
face.
by the way, you barely even like
Your
gave me a
face was
chance to
frightening.
believe you. You immediately said just kidding, but you could tell I
Well,
fully
'cause
believed
your
you.
eyes went to a different realm. That was actually very.
I'm
very
actually a little
cute.
sad.
Oh no, I'm sorry. That was mean. Nothing that exciting on our end. I was in Tennessee for a bit.
Oh, yeah,
and
that's
now I'm
right.
back, bitches.
Welcome back.
Hell yeah.
Okay, a lot of Bravo news and reality TV news went down this past week. God, what should we even start with?
I don't know.
Well, last week on our podcast, Girls Unscripted, as you guys are listening, if you forgot the name of it, we did say that we saw that like Brittany and some other people from the Valley were on their way to Hawaii, but we like weren't sure if it was a filming trip or whatever.
Yep.
Turns out it was.
Turns out it was.
And every single person was there, even Michelle's boyfriend and Jesse. They were like getting along, and it looks like Jasmine brought her girlfriend, and every single person was there except for Jax.
Was he out by that point?
Yup.
He was out.
And did you hear, I put this in our notes, but Zach's tweet he made about Jax?
No.
So this happened on Thursday, last Thursday, and it was, I think that was the day that they left for their trip to Hawaii. Zach tweeted, "Riddle me this. How is it possible you come out of rehab a worse person than when you went in?"
I did see this, and I loved the beginning. Riddle me this.
Riddle me this. There's a lot of like you can like talk about this tweet, right? It's like obviously shady and whatever. Like Zach is shady. A lot of people are now saying that Jax was in rehab. I think people are putting too much emphasis on the word rehab. Like, I think that a mental health facility is also called like a rehabilitation center. So our friend Rob from Vanderpump Rob's posted that the description of one of Jax's new podcast episodes said that he had just gotten out of rehab, and then they changed it to like inpatient treatment.
And somehow he just screenshot it and got.
I know
the
that
change.
that
That was
guy's
impressive.
quick.
I know.
So yeah, I don't know. It's definitely going to be an anti-Jax season. That's
Did
for
you
fucking
listen to Jax's podcast?
I didn't. Did you?
I sure
Okay,
did.
good. I need to know about it.
Let me bring out my notes real quick.
Bring up the receipts.
Hold on.
While you're doing that, I also forgot to mention Cabo just fucked up my insides, dude. I have not eaten like any today.
no.
This ginger ale is my
Oh
savior.
no.
When I was buying that like 1K balloon,
Uh-huh.
I saw a lot of the inside of the Party City bathroom.
Oh man, the party. Oh, how was it? Not great.
I
probably.
think it was those Jello shots that fucking Lupita
I
shoved
don't know
down my
what,
throat.
what Lupita put in those things, but y'all clearly got into some mess.
Probs water. Anyways, go on.
All right, so Jax goes on to his and Brittany's podcast to say that he's back. He was 30 days in treatment and he agrees with the divorce. He thinks he will make an excellent ex-husband, which was a weird, fun thing to say. And he talked a lot about how anger is his problem and admitted that he has an anger problem and that he takes it out on whoever's in front of him. And Brittany just happened to be whoever was in front of him.
Because she's literally his wife.
Because she is his wife, and that's part of the
And
point.
they literally live together.
They're under the same roof because they share a child. But it was it sounded like Jax, he didn't talk as much all over the board, I will say, as he normally does. Like, it's usually very hard to track his logic, and I could follow what he was saying. And he was really passionate about, he says, mental health now, and that he kept saying he really wants to get into mental health advocacy, kind of, and like he might even create his own podcast about it. And
is this Jax Taylor you're talking about, or
yes.
Raquel Leviss? Because it's kind of hard to tell the difference.
It sounds exactly like the same situation, but Jax
started his own podcast. He already has a podcast.
And you know who he brings on is the marriage counselor, or like whatever therapist that they brought on the Valley for Jesse and Michelle. It's the same guy.
Okay, first of all, real quick, sorry to cut you off, but imagine listening to a mental health podcast with Jax Taylor giving advice. That's almost as crazy as listening to a mental health podcast with Raquel Leviss giving advice.
So the rest of the episode, he's talking to this counselor. And I will say that the counselor, I feel like he did a much better job with Jax than he did on that episode.
Well, Jesse and Michelle were a lost cause.
They were a lost cause. There was no turning back. It was actually, I felt a little bit like I was in therapy. I was like, oh, this is actually really helpful information to hear.
Well, to be honest, I feel that way about Raquel's podcast too sometimes, because she does have like good people on.
Yeah.
Yeah, he couldn't do a podcast by himself. He'd have to
I don't know what he would do, but it's all about the tools and everything. The one faux pas I will say this therapist did was Jax was saying, you know, I'm used to being the lead singer. And I don't want to be the lead singer anymore. I want to be in the background. I want to be the triangle guy or whatever. The therapist says something to the effect of, Jax, it's just who you are. Accept it. And Jax is like, I know. He carries the burden of being the number one guy.
Well, okay, I was just going to say, here's my takeaway from this so far. Lori K wrote down a banger-ass statement for this man. She said, Jax, follow these bullet points.
Jax, come here.
If you want to have sex with me in the bathroom, you'll follow these bullet points. And then I think that she said, Jax, you need to refrain from calling yourself the number one guy in the group. Say you're the lead singer, say anything else, but that's what they're expecting of you. You have to show that you've made a change. Because saying you don't want to be the lead singer is the exact same thing as saying you don't want to be the number one guy in the group.
And I don't know if I said it like exactly how he said it, but that was the ethos of what he was saying. That was really it. And
that's juicy.
And then the end of the podcast was Scott Kaufman, the therapist, talking about, you know, Jax talks about how fame and money, you're always looking for the next thing and it doesn't make you happy, it makes you miserable. And Scott being like, yes, Jax, you know, like all this stuff. The lessons are valid. It was interesting to listen to Jax talk about all that stuff. And I hope he really means what he says.
I was just going to say, look, I actually feel like I've been a bit too judgmental. I never will wish ill will on anyone. We watched Jax for 10 fucking years. I hope that he is getting the help that he wants. And I hope that he is taking this seriously. But it is just giving me flashbacks of like every Vanderpump Rules reunion of him saying like, I'm a work in progress. I'm trying to better myself. I'm getting the help. And then he just goes and does the same shit over and over again.
Yeah. And I think it will also be telling if he like stays in therapy now.
Right.
Because you don't just leave an inpatient
Well, he's
program.
probably like, I did it.
Yeah, like
all done.
Yeah, and that's the vibe I get from Zach's tweet of like, man, he really hasn't done anything.
Something must have went down to make him tweet that.
Yeah, and not go to Hawaii. Is he allowed in Hawaii?
Someone asked that on my TikTok. They're like, isn't he banned from the sunglasses? Good question, Carolyn. We're not sure. We're not sure. Speaking of Hawaii, too, I forgot to say that Kristen and Luke got engaged. Not really that surprising.
I didn't realize it was on the show.
Well, okay, I'm assuming it was filmed. It looked like they were on a boat ride with only Danny and Nia.
Is
that
okay.
Nia?
Yeah.
It's tough because I'm also watching The Challenge and there's Naya. So, and I was like trying to see if there were cameras, but there's no fucking way Kristen Doty's going to get engaged and it's not going to be on TV.
That is true. And she looked good. That rock was huge. And it makes me go, what does Luke do?
He chopped down a lot of trees.
I mean, that's so many trees.
He sold a lot of maple syrup.
I've chopped down. They shouldn't be worried about where they live.
He literally lives in a cabin in the woods of Colorado. Like
he's been saving.
Yeah, he doesn't pay for anything.
I don't know. It was beautiful. Good for them.
Lala gave birth.
Little
baby Sosa.
Did anyone guess Sosa?
I can't imagine anyone would guess Sosa because, okay, I think Lala can let us astray. Because she said that the name doesn't really, we always knew it started with an S, but I think she was saying it goes with ocean, but it doesn't have anything to do with like water, like a body of water, because like she doesn't want the two kids to be compared. But then I don't think we know why she named the baby Sosa, but the educated guess answer is that it's the gender neutral name of the Portuguese origin that means salt water.
How the hell did you find that out?
So I made a TikTok where I literally was like, I don't know why this baby's name is Sosa. Is it?
You just gave it to the world.
I was like,
explain this to me.
Is it Sammy Sosa, the baseball player?
Oh yeah.
And I came to the conclusion, and I'm like, I know.
So random.
No, just wait, Carolyn. And I'm like, I know it's not this, but the only thing I can think of.
Girl Scout cookies.
Oh, that's a samosa.
Samosa.
Right?
That's what I thought you were gonna say.
No, have you ever heard the song? These bitches love Sosa.
No.
It's like a rap song by rapper Chief Keef. And it's called
Definitely.
Love Sosa, Sosa. And it's all about like, these bitches love Sosa, na. And then they also mention Sosa in like a Wiz Khalifa song.
Okay.
And it means smoking on something amazing.
Oh, shit.
So I'm like, I don't think
great.
that that's what Lala would name her baby after. But like, I wouldn't put it past her.
Well, this whole Portuguese origin saltwater thing does feel on brand for Lala.
It's definitely the saltwater thing.
But also very random.
But you know that she does like that song, Love Sosa. I just know that about her. I just would know that.
I still haven't heard it, so I can't give too much weight.
I'm just gonna play it for you actually.
Okay. I'll wait.
This song's probably gonna be on my Spotify Wrap this year for the amount of times I listen to it, just to be like, could this be it? Like, I could see Lala being like, I love this song.
and getting a notepad, writing down Sosa.
What if I named my baby after it? I literally love this song.
Genius.
Anyways, it's definitely the saltwater thing, but I'm
Sosa.
choosing to believe it's named after Love Sosa.
And
by
I'm
Chief
going to
Keef.
choose to believe that it's Sammy Sosa. And she has an unknown affinity for baseball.
Well, that was another thing. I'm like, maybe her dad's favorite baseball player was Sammy Sosa. I don't know.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
All right, last Vanderpump Rules related thing is, have you seen the photos circulating that they are filming at SUR?
I've seen like one photo that shows that they are filming.
Did you see the back alley photo?
Who they were filming. No, I haven't seen a back alley photo.
I don't think they're filming anyone that we know.
That goes with what our tip earlier.
Yeah.
It's a recast.
Oh my God, wait, you said that so fucking long ago. I forgot, like way before the rumors were circulating.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like a pilot that they're gonna try to sell or if it's picked up on Bravo, I don't know. But from the photos I saw, it's like people who work at SUR, which it's like, duh. I just feel like we knew this was gonna happen.
They're like, because we loved this show. Part of the show is so endearing is because they were like poor. They were like, we need poor people.
I still think it's gonna be like a season 9, I think it was, where they brought in Max, Brett, Danica, Dana, and Charlie.
Oh, by the way, that was just like a graveyard you just mentioned.
There's a whole, yeah.
None of them lasted.
Charlie almost had it.
She
then
was so
we
close.
lost her. But I think that's the only way it makes sense is to do, you can't just do a full recast. You'd have to kind of transition, like make it a show about Tom and the Toms working at Tom.
Well, I've seen that
whatever,
as a theory too. And it's like Tom and Tom are the bosses. And it's kind of like they're the Lisa figure, maybe.
Yeah, but that would make sense to me.
Yeah.
That way you can kind of slowly transition into these new people. Personally, I think it's unfair to the new cast if you just totally recast Vanderpump Rules after it being on such a high. Like, people are still going to be like, we miss the old cast. We miss Ariana.
It's going to be a
miss
completely
Katie.
new show.
Like, they're not, no one's going to be happy with what we're getting,
Yeah.
I think. Although I do think Vanderpump has run its course and I'm here for it if there's a new cast.
Well, you know, some gabbers have sent us that article about, or I don't even know if it's an article, post about Tay-Tay and Selena Gomez talking about Vanderpump Rules.
Yeah.
So maybe they'll bring it back to life.
Maybe Taylor Swift and Selena Gomez got a job at SUR.
They needed it.
And they
definitely
filming.
needed it.
Yeah.
And I bet they would be so good. They're smart women.
Actually, Taylor Swift would be like a good server, I feel.
I agree. She'd be so nice.
Selena Gomez, I feel like would be a bad server, but you keep her around because she like talks to everyone.
And she's like so cool.
Like she's like a Kristen Doty. Like she like people just love her.
She's a personality.
She's probably not like the best server, but
right.
Taylor Swift, I feel like type A, takes her serving job so seriously. She makes sure you do all your side work at the end of the night.
So true. I have a fun story about that. So I was just in Nashville and I was visiting one of my girlfriends from high school, and her dad works in merch for artists.
Oh, cool.
So in high school, I got to like sell merch at Justin Bieber's concert, Miley Cyrus.
Flex? What?
Well, I didn't meet them, but
still cool.
She did Taylor Swift's concert when she was still in high school. So she was nobody. But she said that Taylor stayed later than anybody else there to sign autographs for people. And her dad went up to her and apparently said, anyone who stays this late for their fans is going to make it. So excited to see you get there.
Wow.
And then she did it, folks. Put in the work.
And her dad was Scooter Braun.
And her dad is Scooter Braun. And she's devastated by how this is all played out.
It's really not a happy ending.
It's not. I won't even go
No, that's
there.
a cute story. I like that.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, we needed to set aside time to talk about the Mormons. I have not finished yet.
Oh!
I know, and I wish I did.
But you've watched some. How far have you gotten?
3 or 4 episodes, maybe.
Okay.
Enough, and I mean, obviously, it's all over TikTok. Like, enough to know that Whitney's the villain.
Yep.
Bitches love Taylor.
These are my notes.
Holy shit. Just show the camera real fast.
I have a lot of notes. I have a lot of things to say.
I figured out, because when I was watching, I'm like, it does seem off that the pilot is filmed like 2 years before the rest of the show. And do you, because like,
well, I know.
Because it was originally with the other girls?
No.
It was?
Well, no, they decided not to do it.
Yeah, so like Mom Talk, all those girls were on Mom Talk, the girls that are on the show now, but they weren't like the main ones.
No, yeah, I was on Mom Talk from like the get-go. I knew Taylor, Frankie Paul. She used to do fake haunted house videos. She would like put string on her lights and do them back and forth and stuff. And I was like, who is this girl? And she's like, my house is haunted. And she was known as like, she's kind of known as like Haley Bailey, like does tricks now, like tricks the audience.
Okay.
I was back in those days. And so I followed Mom Talk. I knew none of Mom Talk except for like Whitney from the show.
Right.
Everyone else I had to look up.
Well, it does seem like Whitney, because I went back to watch some of the old videos, is in some of the old videos, but it was mainly Taylor, Camille, and Miranda.
Exactly.
And those are the 3 that were involved in this actual swinging scandal. Those are the 3 that originally got offered the show, and then the 2 girls dropped out. And I feel like the production company, Hulu, whatever, was like, well, I still kind of want to run with this storyline, so let's just find some other Mormons that want to be on reality TV. Because you can tell these girls that are currently on the show had nothing to do with the scandal, but they were in Mom Talk and were annoyed at this scandal, annoyed at Taylor, because this is my interpretation. Taylor is the glue of Mom Talk. She's the reason it exists. She started it, whatever. If Taylor goes down, all of Mom Talk goes down with her. So Taylor, and it's theory. So Taylor expresses, she basically outs all her friends for these fucking soft swinging or whatever. And then that's why these girls on the show keep saying like, I hope Mom Talk can come back from this. Are we ever going to come back from this? Because they were just afraid that they're going to lose their fucking brand deals. None of them had a part of it.
Yeah, I also think that's just producers trying to like have a unifying storyline.
Well, because
like, the point is we want Mom Talk back together.
But they also wanted scandal and then lost it when the 2 girls bailed. Like these girls, what's their fucking scandal? One time my husband ate me out and said I tasted like Fruity Pebbles. That's a big fucking scandal.
Well, okay. have you listened to Nick Viall's podcast?
I haven't listened to it, but you can talk about it.
So she talks all about
Taylor
this.
is the she, right?
Taylor is a she, Taylor Frankie Paul. Originally, they wanted Camille Miranda, and they went back and forth. We saw the text on TikTok because they got back into this war of them saying, if Taylor's in it, essentially we're not going to be in it. And then
Which, by the way, I get it because she literally outed her friends on a fucking TikTok live.
Well, and I'm not sure if both of their husbands were involved. I know one of them was. I get confused.
Yeah, Miranda's husband was because I saw a video on TikTok of him.
It's Chase,
Yep.
That's his name. Taylor also goes into tea on Nick Viall's podcast and kind of lays it all out. But essentially they were cast. Then she got arrested. The show essentially kind of needed to get recast, and they didn't know if they were going to allow Taylor back on the show. So Taylor was like, I'll do the show, but like, you have to tell me now, like, if I'm in it or not. And they were like, okay, you're in it.
Well, because I heard,
being in it, I heard, cause problems.
Right. When I heard that they tried to get her to come back as a friend of.
Yes, exactly.
And she was like, it's either all or nothing.
And she was like,
and that is a flex.
And I think this show has been so redeeming for Taylor. Like, people like her now a lot more than they did. She was the villain of all of TikTok for a long time when all this stuff came out. And on Nick Viall's podcast, she goes through of like who was in things or not, but she confirms that no one on the show was involved in the swinging scandal. Like, that was a separate thing. And she goes through kind of like exactly how the soft swinging worked.
Ooh, can you tell me a little bit
about that? And how it got too far.
Was it just because my interpretation is like they're just like repressed Mormons and they've played like fucking spin the bottle and just made out with each other?
Well, they were repressed Mormons, and for Taylor, she always was a rebel. So for her, this was kind of like just, she was already having trouble in her marriage. I think they all were kind of having trouble in their marriage. So that was just,
you don't say. When you start fucking your best friend's husbands, well, or maybe not fucking. But.
Well, so it started more like, okay, let's have the girls make out. That'd be so hot. The girls make out. That's fun. Next time. Okay, why don't you take her clothes off? That'd be so fun. Like, it kept escalating. And then it got to the point where they were going to have full-on intercourse with each other's husbands. And Taylor's husband was like, we can't do this. Like, what if someone gets pregnant? We can't do this. So then they go, okay, well, what about strangers? Maybe we should do this with strangers. And so then they like are introduced to another couple that gets involved in this situation. But it does sound like there weren't that many people as I thought there were swinging. She did say.
Also, I love it's like, wait, what if we get each other pregnant? Okay, strangers.
I know.
Like, that's not the solution.
Right. And like, but the thing, so then it became like, don't sleep with them, I guess. It was so bizarre. But they would all like they would have sex in front of each other, like under the covers together and stuff like that. And it wasn't like full swappage. And then it became a love triangle. Someone's husband, one of the husbands, said to Taylor that he caught feelings for her.
I heard that Taylor had more to do with it than most. Yeah.
And she was best friends with his wife. So she didn't want to tell the wife because she would lose her best friend. And Nick was like, why would she lose her best friend? And Nick's wife was like, because no girl's gonna like be chill with the girl that her husband's in love with. Like, that's crazy. And then Taylor caught feelings for someone else. And then it gets kind of dark, Kate. Have you heard about this? I mean, she talks about the night that she fully messed up. And she's so drunk, she can't remember much. And she's been blatantly honest this entire interview.
I believe every word she says, actually. I feel like she's not hiding anything.
She's not hiding anything. If anything, you got to give her kudos for coming completely clean with all the tea, all the dirt. And she says she was so drunk, she doesn't remember anything. Now, she wants to clarify that she doesn't consider it sexual assault or anything because she's sure that she wanted it. So she wants to put those rumors to rest. But people are still saying, what? Because then she goes, but I know I had sex with him because the next morning down there was all messed up or something like that. So she knew something had gone on. So people are now like saying, regardless of what Taylor says, that was assault. Like, she was blackout drunk.
Yeah.
What the fuck happened that she wasn't even sure? And so, because Nick was asking, okay, well, what did he say? And she was like, I have no idea. I don't know what happened. I have no idea. She just knows that she slept with him. And then she had to come clean with it. And that's how everything came down. And then on TikTok, she just felt like it was a double standard that everyone was just going against Taylor. And so she went on and told the swinging story.
Okay, That makes sense. I think that's why people are very team Taylor, because it's like now that she's been able to like get her side of the story out and you like see how she is, you kind of see her parents and it's like,
her mom.
Yeah, and
how
it's like, I
sad.
get it now.
Yeah, it all makes sense. It seems like she's always had a rebellious nature, and it's not a surprise she got here. But then she does talk about how this did fracture mom talk into two groups: people that will still talk to Taylor and people that won't. And you know who was the first person to reach out to Taylor to say, like, I want to hear your side of the story? Whitney.
Interesting. But aren't they on two different sides?
Now, yeah, they hate each other.
I heard it's like the saints and the sinners.
The saints and the sinners. And Taylor hasn't even watched the show, which I think is crazy. These people don't watch their own shows. Like, I would want to know what's out there.
What the fuck? Especially if you're going, well, okay, that's good though, because now I know I'll listen to the podcast and I won't like get spoiled. But
yeah. So, I mean, it's just, she spills all the tea. It's very interesting. And the show, I think, is a completely different show from the swinging scandal. I mean, the swinging scandal is hardly mentioned because it's hardly relevant.
Well, that's what I think. It's so obvious that they started the show talking about one, like with one focus, and then it just kind of turned into.
Well, because she got arrested.
Yeah, that video. Have you seen the whole video?
Oh, I watched the whole video.
It's really
back in the
sad.
day.
It's actually
really,
crazy
really
that it's like
sad.
out there. It's just crazy to me that these people have all these like morals and values and whatever, but are willing to go on reality TV and like air out all their shit. Like your kids are gonna hear about.
Well,
that.
and she got charged with assault and committing.
You reading your notes?
I mean, this is my notes. She got charged with assault and committing domestic violence in presence of a child. So I heard that she had thrown chairs and stuff in front of the little girl, which is so sad because she's so fucking cute.
Dude, I used to follow Dakota, Taylor's
I
like
still
boyfriend,
follow him.
because I used to think he was so cute.
He is very attractive.
But now, I don't know.
Is it bad that I'm kind of...
Do you
what
think
does this say about me?
Do you think they're misunderstood?
I think he's a little misunderstood. I think he loves Taylor a lot. I don't know, but also he's an asshole and a dick and like needs to leave her the fuck alone. Have you seen their fight? Their final fight, like in the bed at in Vegas.
Oh no, I haven't gone to Vegas yet.
And
I heard some shit goes down.
I won't spoil anything, but basically she's just pleading, like, can you stop? Like just until after I'm pregnant. I'm so pregnant right now.
I've seen a lot of clips of her basically being like, just leave. If you don't like me, just leave. Like on many different occasions, and people are like, she keeps basically asking him to break up with her.
Please do it, or just like stop talking about this stuff. She's about to burst. Let the woman live.
Okay, one more thing that I also just like can't really figure out about these Mormon ladies, specifically Whitney, is the whole her husband being on Tinder throughout their entire in quotes throughout their entire marriage, and then they have a third fucking kid. It's like, did you sort that out? This man, I don't know if he's on Tinder or a different app. I don't know if he's just talking to these women or going up and fucking them. But the duration of their marriage, I don't know how long their marriage is, but being on Tinder for longer than a fucking month while you're with someone is a long time.
I remember when they came out with that apology video. And
wow, you really are in mom talk.
I'm in it deep, yo. That's embarrassing how I even said that deep. I obsessed with mom talk. On the show, I don't know if we got the full story from Whitney on the show, because someone says, okay, it's one thing to be on Tinder and question your sexuality.
Okay, I heard her say that too, and
Whitney did not say that. Someone must have for them to repeat that on camera.
But then she also says that he's talking to other women and sending photos to these women. I don't know.
Are you doing in quotes because it's like rumored it's Grindr?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That would make
rumored.
sense.
We're not starting the rumor. We are just spreading the gossip.
Because the other reason I think his sexuality has something to do with it is the way that he talks about it, because he says, you know, I have so many issues and demons. It sounds like he's talking about him trying not to be that way.
He was really torn up when they were talking with each other.
Yeah. I wish them the best. I hope they have a really cool homestead.
What's that mean?
Oh, you haven't gotten there yet. They're going to like make a homestead where they like live off the land. Like, she wants to run away.
Of course she wants to run away. That's all Whitney does is run away. And
I
have
know.
different hair every fucking episode, so I can't keep up with who she is.
I know.
She looks like Catherine Dennis from Southern Charm. Kinda.
Yes, she did by the end.
It's a good show, though. I mean, I was expecting to not like it. I wasn't expecting to even watch it, to be honest with you. But then everyone was talking about it. It's juicy and it's fun. And I'm also catching up on fucking Real Housewives of Salt Lake. So God, like I'm literally like watching both shows at the same time. Nothing has ever made me want to move somewhere less than watching those two shows back to back. Why the fuck would anybody move there? Well, I guess if you're Mormon.
If you're Mormon.
Yeah.
I mean.
Also, it seems like fucking rumors just travel so fast around there.
Yeah.
People are talking.
It's just, I mean, you know what soaking is. You know what.
Okay, I do know what soaking is, and I was going to make a joke about them self-swinging. Do you think they soaked together?
Okay.
And they're all just like jumping on the bed.
It's a real thing. Like, all these are real things. And then like pushing on the bed so you can soak.
Yeah.
That's real.
I would definitely, if I had like Mormon friends, I would jump for them.
I would jump for them all day long.
I would be the fastest jumper ever.
Yeah.
I'd be like,
I would.
I would be like, tell me what you want me to do.
Would you jump for me? I would jump for you.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. That's what real friends do.
That's what real friends do.
You jump. I could like sway.
Yeah.
Whatever they needed.
Move the bed. Yeah. We'll make it a fun time.
If it was a water bed, I would like flop around on it for them.
That'd probably be easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Taking soaking to the next level.
Soaking can be whatever you want it to be.
On that note.
Oh, let's just say I'm obsessed with this show. I can't wait for there to be another season because they have to greenlight another season. There are so many arcs for us to follow that are just bananas. Like, we haven't even touched on Jen and her crazy husband.
You mean Jen Affleck?
Jen Affleck, yes.
You have to say her last name.
The second cousin of Ben Affleck.
Yeah. Well, okay, the next time we meet, I'll probably have finished it by then.
Okay, so then we'll get there. Yeah. You've got to watch Vegas, and then we'll talk.
Well, yeah, I feel Vegas, there's a lot that goes down with Jen and her husband, right?
A lot goes down.
Okay. What happens in Vegas?
Didn't stay there. We saw all of it.
Airs on The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
Airs
Only
on
on Hulu. Okay, well, once again, you guys, thank you so much for allowing us to have balloons that say 1K YouTube subscribers.
It's the best birthday present you could have given me.
And everybody wish Carolyn a happy birthday, because if you're listening to this, it is probably either her birthday or the day after. And she is 29, her last year in her 20s.
I can't wait to be 29 for another year. For the rest of my life.
And until next time, stay soaking, everybody.
Stay soaking.
My name's Kate.
I'm Carolyn. Good night.
Good night.